Nicky, let's reflect on the last few days in chronological order. We start at the weekend. The 18s got their first win of the league season with an emphatic 8-2 victory against Cambridge. You must have been really pleased with that performance.
Yeah, I think it's probably a product of the previous 2 to 3 performances, really, in terms of had a lot of the ball, created a lot of chances. Obviously, some individual errors have cost us points, but I think for the players to start to believe in what we're asking them to do more, it needed that kind of performance and then result, because ultimately players need belief, and you're going to get that through scoring goals and winning football matches.
What do you think clicked in that game that hasn't in previous games?
We made only one individual error which led to a goal, as opposed to probably 3, which we have been doing. And the obvious bit is we've took more of our chances. Funnily enough, could have scored 5, 6 more. That should have scored as well. So we've took more of the chances, and we're creating obviously a great deal. So, yeah.
Scoring those chances, though, the ones that you did take, you must be pleased with the clinical nature of your attack.
Missed a lot of chances, honestly. We missed a lot. I think Oaksy missed from a yard, from a set piece. Creasy should have had a couple more. Kieran should have had a couple more. But yeah, obviously when you're creating the number of chances that we did on the day, to score 8 is obviously good. But I think in previous games we've created a similar amount and obviously scored one or 2. So long may that continue.
Like you said, it is encouraging, though, to create those chances going forward, and creating them more consistently will lead to more positive results.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the first 3 or 4 games of the season said I didn't like anything about us, really, in terms of how we looked with the ball, intensity to defend. Just body language was not what I wanted it to look like. I think since the Stevenage game, it might have been, or maybe one before that, we've played better with the ball. It's clear what we're trying to do, and we've had more intensity in our possession work. Really, there's more desire to block shots, to sprint, to compete, understand your roles in the different areas of the press, stuff like that. But yeah, again, I feel like saying the same things most weeks, but it's just kind of what we expect from this group of players. The challenge now going to be, can we continue that momentum?
Momentum continued somewhat yesterday night away at Bovey Tracey, when a strong team of mix of PDP players and 18s came away with a good 2-0 victory. What were your thoughts on that one?
Totally different experience from the last 3 games. Obviously playing a non-league venue, they looked after us very well. To be fair, pitch was fine. The team sat very low, so I think it's 78-80% possession, which is a huge number. Again, should have scored 5, 6, 7, had a lot of big chances, which would have made the scoreline probably match how dominant we were in the game. But the key thing is for the players, clean sheet, a quite professional performance. So totally different than what would be a schoolboy game for the 18s. But yeah, another good experience and through to the next round, so it's good.
Like you said, it's not a schoolboy game. They're out there against men who play week in, week out. How are your players physically after that? It was a bit of a battle at times, it seemed. Yeah,
there's a couple of off-ball stuff which was different. Obviously, you're playing against experienced blokes, really. So for our guys, it's a different experience. I think they enjoyed it as well. We was playing a Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever it may be, to go and play in at 7:45, deepest, darkest. Is it Dartmoor? Is it or something? Yeah, and they got lost on the way. But yeah, it's a different experience.
A clinical strike that came last week was for an under-18 player, Jake Richards. I think many still forget is an under-18s, and that's now won the club's goal of the month. And he also almost ran the midfield in the middle against Bobby Tracy. Having a player alongside that, your under-18s, to be playing with them must be a bit of an inspiration to see him in the first team and then playing with them against Bobby.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that Jake's the youngest second year we have, so he's young. He's really young. Really pleased for him personally to have that moment against Spurs. It's probably not what he's renowned for, but he's definitely got that kind of quality as we see every day. And then we use it quite a lot as kind of like a figure for the 18s and schoolboys to look up to. Someone that's in the first team. He's been with them basically from day dot since he left school. And I think everyone can quite forget that he is so young and what he's doing is actually remarkable. For him, he just needs to push on and to find a way to get into the team and show people what he can do in the first team. And again, like I said, it's brilliant for a Liam Oakes or a George Birch who are the same age, but to play with him because they're all mates as well, which is the bit which people forget, like they're pals. So to play with each other is good, but for sure is an inspiration for the younger guys.
With no game this weekend, I wanted to talk a little bit more broadly about your training during the week. The first team tend to focus a lot on the next fixture, how they're going to tactically set up. Is that similar for the 18s, or do you focus more on maybe the individuals and go into the game with a little bit less tactical preparation than, say, the first team would?
It depends how you define tactics, really. We work every day on us in terms of how we want to play. Like some core ideas, really, which we're going to show in every game, whether that be with the ball, without the ball, whatever it may be. But again, the nature of the amount of injuries we've had and have lends itself to small numbers, which then lends itself to a lot of individual work or small unit work, which is brilliant. So like, today is a good example. We'll work on a couple of pitches that we see a lot in the game in terms of defenders building up, and then the attacking players, Callum Graham coming from the right, Creasy arriving to finish. So pitches which we work on in a training week, and we see in the game, we're just going to keep going, try and be more precise, working at the right speed so that when the games come, it's normal. So long way around to answer your question. Yeah, we probably do what we call a lot of tactical work, but it's individual pitches which fit into then the team tactics for a better way. So it's really good, I think.
Of course. When you're playing against other 18s teams, I think you said last week, Cambridge and a lot of 18s tend to play in the same way. Do you find that sometimes they mirror their first team, to prepare the players for that, or is there almost a set way of playing for 18s football?
It's different. You get some teams that play like the first team, some teams that play different. I think the key bit for us is we're really proud about it as well. We want to play the game the way we see it, so we have to fight and scrap to earn the right for the game to look how we want it to look. So I think in all the games so far, we've had the majority of the ball pretty much, I think, apart from one of the games. So we kind of know what the game is going to look like, just how long it takes to get to that point. It's very rare that we have to play a totally different game, whether that be without the ball for long periods. So no, I think we kind of have an idea of what teams will try and do. Most teams try and come and press high. Is the trend at the minute. Then it's how long they're going to press high for. When they've been played through all round, or if they get success, they're going to be more keen to continue that. So just if the players understanding the team will do that, or the opposition will do that. What can we do to counteract that? But ultimately, all around the way we want to try and play.
Your team will have two different experiences next week with games against Bristol City in the Cup, which I think is rearranged, and then Crystal Palace, which a few of your team may be going to a bit later in the week. That will give them a bit of a different opportunity to play against different sides and a different age group as well against Bristol City. Yeah,
for the next two Wednesdays, the under-17s have got, I think the Professional Development Cup or anyway, cup competition, big competition for this age group. Probably come second just to the Youth Cup for these guys. So we go to Willand, which is our home venue. They've been great with us to play Bristol City. Then the week after we go, I think, to Home Park to play against Plymouth. So for the 17s is a big couple of weeks. Hopefully, with some of the 16s involved in that, they get a feel of kind of an evening game, a game that really matters in terms of you don't win, you're not going to get through kind of thing. So talk about it every week about ultimately the players, if they're fortunate enough to make their debut in the first team, are going to fall to a certain level. It's impossible for a young player, in my opinion, to go into a first team debut and be their complete self. It's impossible. So the question is, how far beneath your level do you fall so that you don't get hooked after 10 minutes, basically? The point is, with these games, it's recreating a version of that pressure. So they're going to be nervous, they're going to be anxious. So we get to see what the players' actual level is like, and we've got no problem with driving that in terms of it's important, guys. It's important. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the 17s and 16s and probably 15s as well react to that. 21s. Not quite sure what the group will look like for that, but hopefully there'll be 2 or 3 of the boys that have been doing really well involved in that. And again, another opportunity to go and stake a claim to try and be involved in the 21s Premier League Cup as they've been so far. Crystal Palace will be a top opposition. Be similar to imagine the Norwich and the Spurs games, the first team. So something we're really looking forward to again.
An interesting week coming up. Thank you, Nicky.
No problem.